it is.
Mm-hmm. And what is it saying on the side? I don't know what it's saying. And can you see this from where you're at? We are live.
Live at 6.
Well, we're live at 5:59.
No, at 6.
Oh, well, oh, it is now. Okay, so we definitely...
Redneck Okie Quail. Hey, how are ya? Hi, little Allie.
Hi! Yes, we made it, little Allie. She met us at the intersection and she texted me and said, "Hurry, you have 9 minutes." We were trying to get here. Hey, J.R. Bailey. 70 baby quail in the brooder. Yes.
Awesome.
That is
Good
awesome.
job.
Congratulations. We love babies. Well, our donkey is chasing our billy goat. I wonder what that's about.
It's hard telling. You clap. That means it's time to eat.
Oh, that's what it is. The way we call, when we call in the goats at night, we clap and we say, "Come on, Rosie." She heard me clap.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey, Pathways and Southern Blessed Homestead. Hi, guys. Good to have everybody here. Wow. I don't know. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, I'm trying to bring it up so we don't have to keep like staring at the...
Still have 50 eggs left in the incubator. Awesome.
That is awesome.
Life at Sycamore Ridge. Hey, how are ya?
So you guys, we just did a garden tour that we're going to be posting later this week, and I'm pretty sure it's going to have to be in 2 or 3 videos. The uncut, footage was like over an hour long, and I'm like, oh my goodness, we've got a lot of gardens.
There's a lot of gardens and a lot of stuff going on, so...
Yes. Oh, sorry, my dog is choking himself over there.
Yeah.
Oh, Rusty is too. It's crazy. Well, drinking some Douglas Hills, what?
Douglas Hills Shiraz.
Wine. Wonderful stuff and only $5. Sweet. Poor Mayday. I know. It's because he's barking at the donkey because the donkey ran by, and so now he's barking and he gets choked up.
We did see in the garden today, we've got our first zucchini. Looks like it's about ready to pick. So it's fixing to get real here in our garden, guys. We got kind of a late planting this year, but it's all coming. Grandma and Grandpa were counting the other day. They like to count and see how many tomatoes we got coming. Yesterday they said they counted 25 or 26 little tomatoes out there that are starting to grow. So out of 160 tomato plants, that's just a very tip of the iceberg, I hope.
It's a little low on volume, so if you want to try... I don't know. Okay. We'll see if we can get that fixed.
See if maybe that helps a little bit.
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you can hear us at all. And it may be that other air conditioner that's kind of drowning us out.
Let me go shut it off.
It's right. It's hard for... I don't know what it is with these phones, the way they pick up Rusty's voice is like... He has a low voice, but I don't know. It just doesn't pick it up. So can you guys hear us now?
He says still a little low.
Okay.
Let me go turn that other air off and see if maybe that helps.
Yeah, definitely. No issue. Okay, good, good. Yeah, so like Rusty was saying, our tomatoes have just gone nuts, and we're thinking, oh my goodness, it's fixing to get fun. And my phone, though. okay, yeah. We do our live streams with our phone, so it's really hard sometimes. Yeah. So we'll just talk really loud. No, I'm playing. He turned that off, so that might actually help too. 160 plants. Yes, that's just the tomatoes. Yeah, we have like 6 garden areas. Of course, that's, you know, counting like the raised bed that's in a separate part of the property for the watermelons and you know, yes, lots of marinara sauce, absolutely, and pasta sauce, and I really want to make ratatouille this year and have it canned, and we just canned 10 jars of carrots, and then another 10 pints of carrots and another 6 pints of pickled carrots. So that is awesome. We are so excited. Salsa, yes. My parents make 3 different kinds. They make jalapeno salsa, which is mild. Then they do serrano salsa, which is the medium, and then they do piquin salsa. And chili piquins are these little bitty peppers about that big, but they pack a punch, and they make that, and that's their hot. So on normal people's scale, to me that's hot, hotter, and hottest. But in my parents' eyes, that's mild, medium, and hot.
And we did plant, I counted the other day, I think 38 chili piquin plants. So we have got lots of chili piquin going out there too, so we can make lots of salsa.
Yes, Rocky Mountain High, they do grow wild in Corpus Christi and around that area. They don't grow wild here. But my mom took some piquins and dried them. And yes, J.R. Bailey, we do did carrots, garlic, and onions. And we canned that all together. I mean, picked together. Yes, yes. We do have some Thai peppers that we have growing too, and I know those can be really hot as well. I wanted to make General Tso's chicken with them, but I'm starting to, you know, get a little scared that they may be a little too hot.
Yeah.
Because
no such thing as too hot.
Oh yeah, there definitely is. Russ eats way hotter stuff than I do. I don't even eat the jalapeno salsa my parents make. I don't. It's to me it's really hot. But yes, there's a lot of different peppers out there. We didn't plant any habaneros this year. I'm allergic to habaneros. I think they're beautiful plants. I like to grow them just to see the little orange and yellow and reds hanging off. It's you know, pretty awesome that way. But
I don't like the flavor of the habaneros because to me they taste chemical. So, but I say the same thing about the fiery hot chips. Flaming hot chips, I don't like those either. Now Rachel and the kids will eat those all day.
yes.
To me they taste like chemicals, so I don't eat those either, but
Lost all your super hot peppers to the... Oh no, I'm so sorry. That's
plant them
crummy.
again.
Yeah.
Plant them again.
Yeah, you can get them late fall, hot peppers. We noticed none of our pears they were loaded with blooms, and none of them have fruit. And our plums also just lost all of it.
I got 5 plums off of 3 trees.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's no pears on, we've got what, 4 pear trees?
Including that one up there, yep.
4 pear trees with nothing.
Yeah.
The apple trees didn't do very good this year. That late frost just zapped us too.
The peach trees, they weren't doing well anyway, but they're starting to drop all their peaches, and they're like this little. It's terrible, but it has to be that late frost. That has to be what's up. And our potatoes, they're just kind of dried up.
Life on Sycamore Ridge. We're in northeast Oklahoma. Where are you located at?
Hey Jason Avers. Hey, Lynn.
Hey, Jason. Hi, Lynn.
We just came from Lynn's house. We were over there hanging out, and then it was like, oh, we got to get home and get this started.
Y'all have a good...
Yeah, a honeybee population. I think so.
Yeah.
We have a lot of clover around here, so... Southwest Iowa.
Southwest Iowa. I used to live up just south of Mount Ayr, Iowa, several years ago, just on the Missouri side. Probably starting in February, March.
Yeah, with the season. Yeah, I can understand that. Because you do have a lot shorter grow season than we do. So I can totally understand that. But man, I hate that you lost them for this year. Yes, Lynn, we see a lot of them, like when we're mowing and stuff. Because around here, that's all we mow is clover.
Yeah. And Jason, we didn't get any of our garlic to grow this year. I'm glad that you've got a lot going for you.
Yes.
That's one of the things, and now that's on our bucket list. We tried it, now we got to replant again in this fall.
It's a goal thing. Like, my main goal with our gardens this year was I wanted to grow peas. And you guys, we have been harvesting peas like crazy, so I'm so excited about that. Yeah.
Hey, Walker Farm fam.
Hey, Britton Farm. Yeah, everyone's doing well. Yes.
We're doing great today. Got a little warm, but we managed to sneak away and cool off. So
yeah, this doing these lives out here on the patio, it gets pretty warm, but we've got a good little breeze coming in, so that's good. No, JR, we have not checked the soil on the fruit trees. We amend a lot of the soil that we have here because we live basically on a sand dune. So we have to bring in, either bring in or we use a lot of our compost and stuff like that.
Yes,
so
what we filled our beds with this year, with our commercial lawn care business, we do a lot of leaf cleanup in the fall, and we'll bring home probably 2 pickup loads a day when we're doing leaf cleanups, and that stuff's been sitting out there about 3 years, and not even turning it. We just let it sit there and do its thing, and let me tell you, that has turned in some of the best soil that we could have asked for.
Okay, that makes sense, Jason. And I don't remember how far apart we spaced them. I had a video on it. None of our garlic came up this year.
No.
But I did find wild garlic at one of the properties we were working at, and I talked to the owner, and they said that I could take any of the garlic I wanted, and I brought it home, and I dehydrated it, and now we have wild garlic powder, and that was awesome.
Rocky Mountain High, yeah, we're used to those wind advisories too. We just moved to eastern Oklahoma from the Oklahoma Panhandle 8 years ago. So, yeah, we're very familiar with what you're dealing with, the 80-mile-an-hour wind gusts and the dirt storms. It's just crazy.
Yeah, when we first moved here, we would laugh because we would see on the news, they would say, there's a wind advisory tomorrow, and the gusts are going to be up to 35 miles per hour. And we just laugh because we're like, that's crazy. Yeah, so it's a big difference between back home, what we call back home, which is the Panhandle, the Oklahoma Panhandle. But Rocky Mountain High, you're probably closer into the mountains, right?
Yeah, I'd say I don't know if you're closer to the mountains but yeah, that's part of the reason why we don't want to go anyplace other than this beautiful hilly, tree-covered land to block those winds. But we've talked about it, and every time we go back home, we wind up with a sinus. Both of us will wind up with sinus infection from the dust and the wind, and that's just crazy.
Yes, it gets pretty nuts going back home and then coming back. Western slope of the Rockies. Okay.
So you're on the backside.
Yes. That's awesome. I love Colorado. We've been I've been up there. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. Walker Farm fam. We'll be here, I promise.
We'll be here.
What was I going to say? Yeah, I've been to I've been to Colorado Springs, and Greeley is the only place I've been in Colorado, but Central Wyoming, we had a windstorm that happened through for 2 days. It hit 70 to 80 miles. Isn't that crazy? 8-foot limb come down, nearly hit the power line. Oh my goodness, that's terrible. Yes, the winds can be awful. It can get bad.
I worked for a company building a power line from Amarillo, Texas up into Kansas, and we were putting up wooden poles, and one of the guys that we worked with, the company was out of South Dakota. He said, yeah, we can't use these wooden poles in South Dakota. The wind blows so hard it'll snap them off the ground. And my brother and I told him, you just wait. We got a wind advisory, got windstorms coming the next couple of days. You'll find out what wind is. He's like, yeah, you guys probably get 40-mile-an-hour wind. We topped out at between 80 and 85 that week. And not a single pole broke, but we did bend a lot of steel poles. So they found out what wind was, just like what your guys are talking about. That wind gets nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I think that's what makes it so cold, too.
Yes.
Like in the winter, it's like, sometimes it's not quite as cold as it is over here, but the wind just biting, and it just rips right through you.
Cuts right through. It doesn't matter how many layers of clothes I put on, I've still... Oh. I'm getting too old to be fighting that cold wind.
Right. And now it's the heat. Oh my goodness. It was 2 weeks ago that we were complaining about the rain needed to slow down, and now we're going, okay, if we don't get some rain here pretty soon, all our yards are going to dry up. My grandma grew up in Altus, and she remembers when twisters would come through, seeing wheat shafts sticking in telephone. Isn't that crazy? Yeah, the twisters, they can do some really crazy stuff.
Yeah, we ain't naders here. Most
of the spring nights for shelter, but this year, knock on wood, because I don't like the storms. Russ likes the storms. He used to storm chase, and so he gets, like, his adrenaline gets pumped up and stuff, and I'm just like, no, I'm good.
I didn't chase so much, I just spotted.
Yeah.
Spotted from a distance, because if it was going to get hairy, I wanted to be able to get away. But
yeah,
it still gets me going, though.
Just want to stop in and tell you about the babies. Got to go more to. Oh, yes. News.
Yes,
I don't want to clap
congratulations.
because my donkey will come running. I'm clapping silently for you.
Don't clap.
If our donkey hears clapping, she thinks it's time to get put up and she wants her food.
And the cow's starting to figure it out too. So we just call the donkey and everybody.
Twister, yes. Cow. We have cows, and the cow goes by, moo. That's what my mother-in-law laughs so hard. I say, I really like that movie, and she's like, it's a terrible movie. I'm like, no, it's really good. She's like, you're really going to see a cow go flying by, moo. So checking the forecast. Wednesday is going to be cool, day high of only 83, 3% chance rain. Oh, 83 is a reprieve lately.
Yes,
oh my goodness.
With a 3% chance, that means the humidity's going to go down.
Yes. Have been for the heat. So we're still coming in around 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and man, it gets hot.
It's hot. It was hot this morning. We were working on Cody's car this morning.
Yeah, I wasn't.
I told him, I said, we've got to get started by 8. He's like, oh, I don't want to get up. About 9:30, he's like, oh, it's so hot. Let's take a break. I said, we don't have time for a break, son. This is the coolest part of the day.
Yes. Yes, because it gets so hot. When we first moved here, we weren't used to the humidity. Poor Rusty, I thought he was going to die
I was going to die.
Trying to cut down a tree. He would come home, he would be drenched. He'd have to change clothes. It was horrible.
Going down to 31 tonight and back to mid-80s.
Oh,
wow.
That sounds so awesome. well, maybe not 31. 31's a little cold. I remember...
Bring it.
I went, when the kids were little, I went on vacation. Oh, not even the kids. Cody wasn't even born yet, so he's 17, so that tells you how long ago it was. We went to Manitou Springs, Colorado, and I remember going into the cabin, and we went on vacation, and we went into this cabin, and there was no air conditioner unit. And I told my husband then, my ex-husband, I told him, I said, we're going to die. It's going to be extremely hot. I can't sleep in the hot. And he's like, well, they have a fan. They had this little oscillating fan in the corner, you know. And I'm like, this is not going to cut it. I'm telling you what, that night the sun went behind the mountains. I was freezing. It was like, we need more blankets in here. And it was mid-July. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Hey, Heath. How are you?
Heath Bodecker, how are you?
Yes, so, oh my goodness. Yep. It's got to be nice over there. I mean, maybe 31's a little
extreme. You know, I could see about 51. I'd be comfortable with 51.
And then it's so funny because my parents moved here from Corpus Christi, and they're used to, it gets below 70, and for
people were out in the heat. When we come home, we want it refrigerator cold. We want to soak up that cold air, and I tell you guys, they're troopers. They don't complain about it. They just get their blankets and they sit there and tell us, "Oh, if you guys are warm, if you're comfortable, that's what matters. We just got blankets." And, oh, I'm telling you,
we're doing good. Yes, trying to stay cool. It has been so hot this last week. We've had heat indexes. The heat index has been digit. You jump right from one thing to another, you know.
Yeah, we can't complain too much this year. We had a very long spring.
It seems like it. It really did.
I mean, we didn't start hitting these 80-degree days, 80 and 90-degree days until the end of May. So, I mean, really, other than the cool, that I think that's what pushed our garden back so far. And we talked to Jason about that too. His was kind of slow getting started too, but we just had so much rain and cool days that it was hard to get everything going. But man, we hit the higher temperatures, the heat element kicked in these plants, and let me tell you,
they skyrocketed. So what are you guys harvesting right now? Like, what is everybody harvesting right now?
We know.
Watching Cindy's video today, and it might have been from a couple of days ago, but she was talking about, I have more plants that we need to till up some more ground.
That's a good problem to have.
Yes, yes, definitely. 2 to 3 weeks behind normal these past 2 years or so. Yeah, I understand that. Hey, I just put pumpkins in the ground yesterday. Russ and I just put pumpkins, and Mom, in the ground yesterday, and not the starts. Like, we put seeds in the ground yesterday. But I mean, that's still getting them, that variety, getting it harvested right around the middle of September. So I mean, that's not too bad. But I've got some seedlings started again, and I may be jumping the gun on that. But I kind of wanted to get the succession planning going with the tomatoes and stuff, because our goal is to have a market garden this year. So,
yes.
You know, we want to be able to put up a lot of food, but we also kind of want to be able to be involved in, like, the farmers markets and things like that. So
yeah, we want to be able to, as we're learning, because we can't say we know what we're doing yet. I don't know that we'll ever be able to say we know what we're doing, because everything changes in Oklahoma from day to day. But as we're learning, we want to be able to share what we learned and be able to take I guess, the fruits of our labor, and be able to go to the farmers markets and make sure everybody gets the fresh produce. And
Yeah. I mean, that's a fun thing now. So I know we're kind of late on it. It's right here, hon. Oh, you can't see that?
Yeah.
Butternut squash, the seeds that I managed to save out of it should be good for next year and all. Oh, sweet. Yes, I have never had butternut squash. And I just planted spaghetti squash this year, so I'm really excited about that too.
Yes, Rocky Mountain High says the wild asparagus here keeps pushing out new stalks, so we go out and pick it.
That is so awesome. That is awesome. I like asparagus. And, you know, if you read that, what is the book? Animal Vegetable Miracle. She talks about the asparagus season and how it's celebrated in like Italy, where it is an actual celebration of asparagus season. So, I mean, that's so cool. Butternut with only 6-foot vines. It should be fantastic. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, I like to see the wild asparagus because we struggle with the asparagus.
Well, asparagus takes so long to mature. So, you know, you have to plant it and be willing to be patient for years. You know, so
I keep telling her there's no problem with that.
Rusty's
just
not a
calm
patient
down
person.
and just wait.
Yeah, he's not a patient person. He doesn't like to wait.
No, I
he's
don't.
He's not a waiter.
I'll wait. I don't always like to, but I'll check on it every single day.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's cool. It's like, I mean, I guess just foraging, right? You just go foraging for asparagus, which I think they did talk about that in that book as well, that they would forage for asparagus. Oh, they found asparagus on the side of the road, and I think it was like her dad or something used to flag it to see. I think that's what it was, like put little flags out. So then that way he knew where to look for it, you know, when it matured. That's so awesome, though. That would be awesome.
Foraging altogether is fun. I mean, we haven't done much of it.
No.
But we know how to look for garlic and onion, and blackberries.
And some of the mushrooms, too. Yes, Lynn. Yes, I thought so. That's what she... see, I do remember some things.
All over the sides of the roads.
See, yes. That's what they talked about in that book, too. That he was like on the sides of the roads. And I don't remember what he did, if he was a surveyor or what. But he would flag where to find it. So that's pretty cool. The foraging thing I was never into until recently, and now it's like, oh man, I want to, you know, I found one of the properties, we've been mowing a property for 6-7 years. Well, he's been mowing it 7 years, I've been mowing it for 5, and I just realized there were plum trees all along the border of this deal. So
hi, Rosanna.
Hi, Rosanna. Oh, the apple trees everywhere. You know what's so funny about that? We were just talking to Rusty's mom about pear trees. She said she does not do anything with pear trees. She doesn't do anything with pears. She throws them away, she said, because where she grew up, the pear trees just grew
trees were everywhere.
in the pastures, and yeah.
I can remember Grandpa Perry going out there and cutting pear trees down because they were a nuisance. Pear trees were as big of a nuisance in southeast Kansas as the soapweeds or yucca plants are out in the panhandle.
That is so cool, though. I would be all over that. And you know what? We have wild blackberries all over our property. And when we first moved in, Russ burned it down, the thicket that was in our pasture.
I sure did.
He said, we're going to put our burn pile there because he said, I don't like rattlesnakes, and they attract rattlesnakes. But we have them bordering our entire property. So my mom has been keeping me in check, man. She is like, I saw all of those blackberry bushes out there blooming. We need to go see. And we went and looked, and they are loaded. So I'm super excited. And I'm excited that she's here because she can help me with that. See, I didn't know that, Cindy. Next time we come up to visit, we need to go and, well, we'll have to go during asparagus season, which I'm not even real sure when that is. I just know there is a season.
And yes, Rocky Mountain High, one man's trash.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
That is
My
exactly
mom was
it.
saying that, and I can kind of remember. Grandpa didn't have many pigs by the time I got old enough to remember much, but she said as a kid, he'd go out and he'd cut down the pear trees, and they'd have to pick up all the pears out of the fields so he could plant, and they'd load them into tow sacks and take them out and dump them in for the pigs, and that's what he fed his pigs for a lot of years.
And Donna still feels that way. She's like, yeah, pears are just throwaway things. Those are not. Why does anybody spend money on pear trees? And we're like, oh, you can do everything with a pear that you can do with an apple. And she's like, yeah, I'll pass. Yes, Jason, that the blackberries, I'm super excited about the jams. I'm super excited about making pie filling as well. So
Homestead engraving business and life.
Hey,
Matt from Minnesota.
From Minnesota. So what's your weather like? I bet it's a lot cooler than here. You're lucky to have wild blackberries. I wish I could find some up here in North Dakota. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I bet you're getting some weather up there too,
Early spring, but it continues to grow during the summer here. Okay, so see, I didn't know when the actual season was. 95 today.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
You guys are burning too.
And what's your low tonight up there? Rocky Mountain's going to be down to 31 tonight, so.
Yes. We also have mulberry trees everywhere. And I don't ever do anything with the mulberries. We have persimmons trees on our property that I have never done. We've lived here almost 4 years. I've never done anything with persimmons either. They just kind of, our horse, when we used to have a horse, he used to eat them.
Hey, I said, Conso, go clean them up.
Yep, they'd fall. There's a spot on the west side of Turkey Mountain, a series of beaver dams and blackberries growing all around, smallmouth bass and black. Wow, really? That's cool. That's really cool. I've never been to Turkey Mountain. I used to work down just past Tulsa Hills, so I used to pass Turkey Mountain all the time, but I've never been there.
Oh, wow.
60s for the low. That still sounds amazing.
Yes, I would give about anything for a 60-degree night.
We just open the windows. I hit 85 with a heat index of 95. Wow. That's a huge jump. 10 degrees. That's a lot of humidity, isn't it?
Yes.
Wow. See, I don't know much about it. I just know the heat index. Oh, my goodness. And we get pretty high heat indexes here. Go off the hiking trail to get there, but it's worth the trip. So do you see whatever. Do you see lots of snakes out there? Because that's always Rusty's concern that we would the big thing, which doesn't wild blackberries. I mean, we have another little patch next to our pond, and then like one whole side of the pond is full of blackberry thickets. So I'm really excited.
Across the back fence, the back of our property.
Right, Jason, you just told it. You just told it. Now you're not going to get any.
The back of our property, I bet, I'm sitting here looking at that thicket right now. Guys, I bet that thicket is 50 yards long and probably 10 yards wide. I mean, it's massive. And
nice pear trees. I've only seen one wild peach tree, but there are tons of wild plum trees and choke cherry trees. That's hard to say. Choke cherry trees. Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah. Jason says he wouldn't worry about the snakes. Jason, I got news for you, brother. I've always said it. A garter snake could lick the toe of my steel toe boot, and I'm going to be dead right there. Massive heart attack. I can't do snakes.
We have a lot of wild plum trees around here. I have seen. I think they're called sand plums or whatever. The wild plum trees at that property that I was talking about, they're only getting about that big, but still, you can make jams and stuff out of it. But and I don't know that I've ever seen a wild peach tree. My dog is literally running into the fence trying to chase the cat that is not paying attention to him at all. So, Wow, that's so cool though. So apricot trees, I guess I think that persimmons, once they're ripe, kind of taste like apricots to me. I don't know. Yeah, 100% with you, Rusty.
I don't do snakes.
Yeah, Rusty doesn't do snakes at all.
I don't do the squigglies.
I like to pick on them a little bit. One day there was a snake out here, and I almost stepped on it. And I called him. Well, he was talking to the neighbors, so he didn't hear my phone call.
Oh, my phone was in the truck.
Yes. So I called his brother that was out in the pasture unloading limbs, and I called him and I said, there's a snake up here and I almost stepped on it. And he said, what do you want me to do about it? I'm like, oh my gosh, both you Robertson's boys just left me to the snakes. And so my nephew and I ended up killing the snake.
I'm a brave guy. I found a snake in a chicken coop, and I called my 14 or 15-year-old son to come get it for me. Coming to get it. Amos just reached in and grabbed him. I said, that's good for you, son, but when you get bit, don't call me.
Okay, so now I'm really interested. What are choke cherries, you guys? I don't know what that is. Do not let Lena know. She likes to pick snakes up. Oh, yes, and I can see Lena doing that too.
If Lena does that, she might be eating a snake.
Choke cherry jam, so delicious. Yeah, so what is choke cherries? Just beat the bush ahead of you, and they will get out of the way most of the time.
See, that's where there's always a catch. Always a catch. If you tell me every time, they'll leave. I'll win there with an air horn, I'll shake, and I'll bang, and I'll blow an air horn, whatever. If they'd leave, I'd be good with it. But that's not most of the time. I mean, some of the time, it's going to be there. And if any of you guys know us, you know that my last name is Robertson, so 90% chance of rain means there's a 10% it's not going to. So guess what I'm going to get? I'm going to get that 10%.
Smallish purple to blackberry that's tart tasty. That's cool. Now I want to know. Now we got to go all the way to Wyoming so I can see what a choke cherry tree is.
Wyoming and North Dakota. North Dakota,
Wild cherries, kind of like sand plums, are small wild plums. Okay, that makes sense. Small black purple berries, sometimes dark red, very sweet, but can be bitter if eaten unripe. Okay, it's kind of like persimmons. My mom says that the persimmons, if you take them, certain variety of persimmons, if you try to eat a unripe persimmons, that it will make your mouth numb. I think it's just so tart that it just allows you up. Yeah.
It just does that pucker.
They grow in clusters on the trees. That's so cool. See, after the live, I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna look up
Rocky Mountain High. How close are you to Grand Rapids out there? Is it Grand Rapids I'm thinking of? Grand Junction. Grand Junction's what I'm thinking about.
I don't know.
We used to do a lot of business with a company out of Grand Junction years ago.
Yeah.
Stop by and pick me up on the way. I'll be your tour guide.
Oh, that would be so fun. Yes.
I don't know that North Dakota or Colorado could handle me and Gary in the state at the same time, much less the same
Cindy,
truck.
I don't know that you and I can handle Gary and Rusty in the same truck.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just playing. It would be a blast. Persimmons are some of the best fruit when ripe. When they aren't. Oh my, yes. And see, I think that's why I haven't ever done anything with the persimmons that we have on the property, because I
have. I shook the tree and fed him to the horse.
Yeah, I used to think our horse was going to get drunk. Rocky Mountain High says very far.
Very far.
Yeah. So, because he would wait till they all fell off the tree, and then he'd eat all the persimmons that were on the ground fermenting. I'm always like, your horse is getting drunk again. 3 hours or so south.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are north and west.
Yeah. So back when I was a kid, I watched a documentary. It was like one of those animal documentaries but it was made really funny. And there's a part on there where all the animals eat this fermenting fruit and they all get drunk. It's the funniest thing. And it's called Animals Are Beautiful People. You gotta look that up and watch that. It's funny. It's just the way it's put together is just a lot of humor in it.
Our kids love that movie.
When they're pumpkin orange and slightly soft, they are divine. I'll tell you what, I do know that. They don't gotta go. It can be a girls' trip and take Lynn. Whoop, whoop. Girls' road trip. Come on, Lynn. Oh, we hurt his
I'm thinking
feelings. No. In my area of North Dakota, there's a...
Well, I guess we don't have to go up there then for choke cherries. We can just go up there to cross over the border just to say we've been to Canada.
Canada? Oh, see, Lynn's down. We're going to have to start planning. You know, girls, and all our extra time.
Right.
Poor Rusty.
I know, I need a cookie.
He needs a cookie. Anytime he gets sad, he needs a cookie. We'll give him a cookie. He'll be okay. I don't know that Gary and Rusty and Nick would let us go. I don't think they trust us.
Oh, I trust you.
We'd be calling for bail money or something. That would be a trip.
Could be a fun one.
Oh my goodness, that's too funny. But yeah, I don't know.
All right.
Trying to catch up.
Yeah, trying to see what we got here. Oh wow, yeah, we do a lot of traveling around our area, and we're starting to see a lot of things now that we've started talking about the foraging, the different places where different things grow, and starting to see what to look for.
Jason says us guys can go fishing, and then Cindy. Okay, Cindy, if anybody's keeping anybody out of trouble, I'm going to vote that it's going to be Lynn keeping us out of trouble. She's the one with the level head, right? Like, she's like, do we really think this is a good idea? And we'd be like, yeah, burn it down.
The good thing about my job is I drive a lot, so I'll make stops every once in a while to pick raspberries, apricots, apples. Oh,
That's
that'd be
so
nice.
Cool. Yeah, see, Lynn? She said, ha.
Yeah. Ha Yeah, so that tells you when Lynn goes away, she's planning on getting in trouble and she don't rely on you and Cindy to get her out of trouble.
That could happen too.
That means that you're all in trouble.
Cindy, yes. Oh my goodness. So do you drive over the road? Rocky Mountain High? Are you over the road? Rusty used to do that years ago. Rusty's done everything. Like, for real.
Not everything.
Almost.
I've never picked a choke cherry.
Oh, Rusty wants to go.
Now I don't even get to go do that. All the girls are going to go do it without me.
Okay, we have to take the crybaby husbands so we can go pick choke cherries from the choke cherry tree. I feel like that needs to be like in a children's book, like Dr. Seuss. Picking choke cherries from the choke cherry tree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's getting easier to say too. Man, that breeze is coming up. That feels so good. I feel like we're melting back here.
Oh, it's been hot, hot.
Yes. So. Oh. Cindy's dying. Work for the state government here, Department of Highways. So I drive all over Colorado. See, that's so cool.
That would be an awesome job.
Yes, or even a Rachel Robertson book. You know, I have a lot of those started, Lynn. A lot of those books started.
See you later, Heath.
Bye, Heath.
Don't cause too much trouble at the council meeting.
I have a brother who works for the state of Oklahoma, and so he's all over Oklahoma as well. So, anyway, just craziness.
Lots of craziness. I could actually spend 2 days driving around northeast Oklahoma, probably never see the same spot twice, and I wouldn't have a problem with that.
He says that's the only reason I go to them. That's awesome.
Stir the pot and go back home.
Yeah, just stir it all up. It'll be good.
Matt says, "How's the garden with your heat?" It's actually doing really good. The tomatoes are starting to really pop. The girls went out yesterday and put some sunshades up over the Roma tomato plants.
Yeah, we used old sheets. I wonder where we got that idea, Cindy, over at Pathways. That was a really good idea. We did that. We used sheets, and then we used some that garden fabric and made shades for the Romas. The Romas were the only ones that were kind of shriveled up, but there's lots of tomatoes on them. And, of course, the lettuce is out. It's kind of bolted. Yep. And, but, I mean, everything else is doing really well. It's taking lots of water.
Lots of water, but that's to a given, considering we haven't had any rain in probably a week and a half, and the temperatures have really jumped up, so we're expecting the water usage to go up. Plus, we live on this beautiful sand dune.
You know what's funny? We live on the sand dune, and our big pigs, they keep it smashed down so much that they are in mud all day long. Like, they have, you know, the areas on the sides where they're not in mud, but it's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Jason says tomatoes and peppers are finally starting to take off. The long, cool spring was making them sluggish.
Yes, we've noticed
definitely.
the same thing, Jason. Like, our jalapeno plants are loaded. We've got jalapenos everywhere. They're going to be ready. And our Thai peppers. I mean, we have Thai peppers like that long already. It's crazy.
The cucumbers are starting to finally starting to come along.
Yeah, and I think that was the same issue there. It had been so cool, and now they're just really taking off. The giant sunflowers that we got from Lynn, oh my goodness, they are just massive. They're taller than me, which I know isn't very tall, but for a flower, that's really tall. It's crazy. So
the other thing that's really starting to take off around here with this heat coming on is our squash and zucchini.
Yeah, we've been picking squash like crazy already, and the zucchini's coming
We've got some platter squash, or
I don't know what it's called.
I don't know
Saucer squash or platter squash.
But we've tried growing them a couple times. Last year we had 2 years ago we planted them, and we got one squash off each plant. This year, and within the last week, we went from having leaves this big to leaves this big on those plants. I mean, they are just
patty pan.
thriving.
I don't know if that's the correct one, but yeah, like, is that really what they're called, is patty pan? All I gotta do is think like children's books. Why can't I do this? We've got chokecherry trees and patty pan squash.
You just don't want to get the choke cherries and the patty pans.
Right? Yeah, there's a lot of things that grow really well in sand.
Yes.
Our potatoes do amazing.
Yes.
In the sand.
Pumpkin or watermelon usually grows really good in the sand. That being said, I have yet to get my watermelons. Usually get about this big around, and there's about that much meat in them, and it's tart. And that's planting the black diamonds. And I don't know.
But this year we've moved where we were planting them.
Yes, we changed where we were planting them before, and we've amended the soil.
Mm-hmm. And so I think that we're going to have better luck. I'm hoping, like, they look promising.
Yes.
The plants look promising. So, yes. We have a lot of problems with the potato bugs. Oh my gosh. Like, we're getting carried away by potato bugs in the
But
garden.
we did start using a homemade bug repellent for the rest of the garden. It's taken care of every bug that we had, with the exception of the potato bug.
Okay, and it's super easy. So I saw it on TikTok, and I thought I'll give it a whirl. But it's yellow. You know, I can't get my colors. It's red onions, chop them up, and then go with what is it, red onions, and then garlic. I used like a whole bulb of garlic, so all of the little cloves in that, and chop that up. And you can leave this peels on, it doesn't matter. Just chop it up and then put it in a Tupperware container or something that seals, and fill that up with water, and then add cayenne pepper and mix all of that together and close the lid and throw it in the refrigerator for like overnight. And then the next day get it out, and then use cheesecloth or something, because that cayenne pepper will clog up a spray bottle. But you just filter it out, and then you just take the water and put in spray bottles, and you spray everything, and it takes care of the bugs. And it has worked amazing. Our squash looks amazing. I mean, everything looks really good, except it does not get rid of potato bugs. So
Rocky Mountain High says my cucumber this year just will not grow.
ours were doing that. Like, we had a late frost and they weren't growing.
So we had the Easter frost, and
And then all of a sudden, like, the heat hit and
Yeah.
they just shot up.
we got
So-
the higher temps, and it hit that heat element. And I don't know how. I always call it a heat element because that's what we called it when I was farming with the corn. You know, your corn starts to grow so much, and then once your higher temperature hits, it hits that heat element, and that makes your corn grow. And that's the other thing this year that we have been trying to get corn to grow, and this year we actually have corn that is tasseled. It's not but about 3 feet tall, but we have a couple ears out there that are about 6-8 inches long, and I don't know how good a corn, how many rows they'll have on them, but it's looking pretty promising out there. So if we can just harvest one ear of corn, I'll be tickled to death.
Yes, that'll be awesome. And yeah, I would just try it again. That's the cool thing about cucumbers, that their maturity time is very small, so you can actually have succession planting too in cucumbers. So yeah, I would just try it again, and see if maybe now that it's warmed up some, well, a lot, if it's 95 during the day there, that maybe it'll.
Yeah, maybe that'll.
Yes, sweet corn. I'm all in too. I love
Yes.
sweet corn. And then, of course, I'm Mexican, so I like elotes, which is just corn, but you slather on like mayonnaise and lime and chili and cheese, and then you put it on the grill. Yeah, I could do that. I could do that today. No potato beetles yet. Hopefully that will keep up. Yeah, knock on wood hard, because we are getting carried away by them. I don't know. I think that's what's gotten into our red potatoes.
Hey, Smith Family Ranch.
Hey!
Yeah.
See, and Cindy says that's why they quit planting. Well, we don't have black diamonds this year.
This year we don't.
Have
We have Jubilees.
and that's what we're trying this year, is the Jubilees.
And Mama found a package
Yes!
of seeds.
I'm so glad y'all. Oh, I can't clap. I forget I can't clap. I get so excited. You love this.
Yeah. He thinks they're a yellow meat watermelon, so we are going to have to plant those.
So I can mix it up with some. What is that? And make tortillas.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, sweet. Not sweet.
Oh.
That is awesome, though. Yes, yes, yes.
Please do explain what that is.
Yeah,
Our sweet
well,
corn has grown amazingly this year. First year it's grown this tall.
That's
See,
awesome.
That's awesome.
Our sweet corn, it's shot up now. Now
Between the potatoes.
what? Okay. Where's that cacao? I might use wood ashes instead. I am totally confused, Jason. You're gonna have to do a video.
Yes. We're in northeast Oklahoma by Tulsa, Smiths. Where are you guys at? Now, Rachel planted the corn in there because she actually transplanted the corn plants
Okay,
this year.
but see, here's
And it's
what's
awesome.
so funny. I know corn is not transplanted. You plant it in the ground. But we built our greenhouse, and the ceiling leaked. So a whole bunch of my seeds got wet.
Yes.
So some of the sweet corn got wet. So I just threw it in a pot and said, well, I'll just grow corn for the for the animals. Well, it started growing and it was beautiful. Well, by the time I started transplanting outside, I had corn that tall, and I thought, I'm just going to transplant this corn. And I transplanted it in between the potatoes, and it's worked out great because the potatoes were growing just ahead of the corn, so it was kind of protecting it from the wind.
From the high winds we were getting with all the rain.
Yes, and so it was staying perfect, and then the heat element kicked in, and the corn just, took off. So, yes.
They're northeast
Northeast Texas, just north of Longview. Okay. Yeah. So you guys have been getting a lot of high heat too.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Which, I guess it's normal for this time of year. Calcium carbonate. Okay. That's what they use down south. But lye from wood ash will do the same thing. Huh.
Nixtamization. Did not know that. Learned something new.
Corn as big and delicious as they have in the Philippines. I bet. Well, and so the climate is so different. So that makes me wonder, about the, about the corn and why it grows so much better in the different
Smith
climate.
says yes, hot, and yes, it is normal.
Right, I know.
Are y'all getting many storms down there? I know that there's been a lot of storms down in eastern Texas, but my Texas geography is not real wonderful, so I'm not familiar with where Longview is.
I'm with you, Jason. I know what you're talking about. Okay, so masa or maseca, so yes, so like that's what we use to make tamales and things like that. So I guess the reason is because it makes it so fine. It's not like a gritty, it's a very fine, grain. It's not grain anymore, but yes.
Right.
That makes sense. I'm with you now. I know what you're talking about. I couldn't do it. I don't know what, but hey, make it into masa. And then I'm game. I can make tamales.
You make it into masa and we'll buy some from you.
Pre-made masa. There is pre-made masa. We usually don't buy, pre-made masa. But like we won't buy the stuff that's already like in a tube. We buy the maseca, and then we make our own masa for the tamales because we like to add the broth from the meat into it, so that way it's a little bit more flavorful. Now I want to go make tamales, you guys. We make tamales in the winter and sell them around here, and it's crazy how they sell. Also breaks down the corn, making more of the nutrients available. That's cool. I did not know any of that, any of the science behind it. A whole lot of storms. We could use a rainstorm or two. About 2 weeks ago, we were sitting out here on the patio, just Rusty was floating away. It was raining so much.
My rocking chair was trying to float on this one side.
Yeah, and we were saying, man, it's just got to quit raining so we can mow, and now we're going, we could use a rainstorm or two. All of our rain catchment barrels are empty. We've emptied them all. So
we can catch about 240 gallons of water off the roof of the house, and that on a normal week we can use that 240 gallons just on the tomato gardens and cantaloupe patch.
You have to think about it.
I had to look at it, see what it was. We can use that in about
tamales.
3 or 4 days. So
Lynn, we should get together. We'll have a whole tamale party. Hey, we're having a canning party at Lynn's house tonight, just so y'all know, at Melville's Homestead. We're having a canning party. It's going to be fun. We just wrapped up 3 or 4 days of heavy rain, warming up, and then rain again. Wow, in Idaho.
Homesteading in Idaho. How are you?
Yeah, welcome. And man, that's the way we were 2 weeks ago. We could not get past the rain. Like we thought we were gonna have to start putting pontoons on our mowers just so we could get our properties mowed. Yes. But the rain, oh man, we need it.
Smith, you're asking how big the garden is?
Which one?
Let's see, our watermelon patch is 10 by 15. the main garden, what we call a main garden, where we've got the biggest variety of stuff planted, is 20 by 40. The small tomato patch is right at a 30 by 30. The big tomato patch is
Tomato patch.
80 feet long, and I want to say it's like 20 feet wide, 24 feet wide. Then we've got a long, skinny, a 40-foot strip of cantaloupe planted here, just in a single row. Then we've got 2 raised beds out front that were built as flower beds. We've converted them over. We've probably got...
That's the plan this year, yes.
20 feet. We've also got zucchini and squash planted in every spot.
Hey, Legacy Home and Garden.
We have a lot.
Well, welcome. We are discussing gardens and weather, and oh my goodness, Idaho has been nuts. They had snow in the mountains, and they have gone from 90 degrees to barely being able to crawl out of the 50s. That's just nuts.
And Smith, that's the plan. We're trying to get all this produce going so that we can go to the farmers markets and sell it. A lot of the tomatoes we plan on using ourselves in canning for the winter.
Yes.
But yeah, that's our goal, is to be able to start having market garden.
And as far as wishing you knew how to can, I'm saying, I don't remember who said that, but I'm saying go for it. Just jump in. If you have a book, you know, it's hard to watch videos on canning because there's so much controversy in canning. Everybody has their own way. So like my parents dry can. I know that is a big no-no nowadays, but that's how my parents have always done it. They've dry canned. Russ and I water bath can. We do want to learn how to pressure can, and so that's our next thing. But all I can say is go for it. Jump in, do it, make it happen. Just you know, do the best you can and go with it. Of course, I know canning can be dangerous, so you do want to follow some sort of guidelines, so then that way you're not poisoning anybody. My gardens are really driving and now are a bit. I can imagine they're probably pretty confused because that weather is.
That's some bipolar weather. We thought it was bipolar in Oklahoma, but that's just crazy what you're going through.
Oh, Smith Family Ranch, let me tell you, I could not grow a vegetable to save my life. I could grow flowers all day long. If you needed a bouquet of tomato flowers, I could do it, and I could not get a tomato off of them, but we just kept going and kept learning, and now it's insane. So I hear you with the yet, and you're learning and you're going. That is awesome. Tomatoes on our homestead, they can be used so many ways. Yes, absolutely. And that's why we have 160 or something.
So we've got right around 160 tomato plants of different varieties. That's tomatoes and tomatillos. So
yep, Ball Complete Canning Book. That is a very good book for preserving. And yes, Lynn, I know it's scary for newbie, but we're gonna have fun tonight. We're gonna make it happen.
High, I'm so sorry for your loss, man, and we'll say a prayer for your uncle.
Oh no,
that's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, we'll be praying for you guys. I am so sorry. Yes.
Thrifty VG, hey, how are ya?
That's okay. Thank you for stopping by.
Waiting on the bus. Woo. Where are you headed today?
Yes, lots of tomato plants. We'll have lots of canning too. Pasta sauce, and we're doing ratatouille this year. We've got diced tomatoes and
stewed tomatoes. We're doing tomatoes with tomatoes, and our kids are going to get tired of tomatoes, but we're sending them home with them.
You know, those grown kids. We send them tomatoes and beans and say, make it happen. Yes, Lynn, it's going to be so much fun. Dried tomatoes. Yeah, we could be like Bubba Gump right now. We're just going to tomatoes.
Yeah, fried tomatoes. Oh, fried green tomatoes.
Pick up a few things, and my vehicle is in the garage. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Your vehicle. That's always so hard. Yes. If you guys are the praying kind, if you could say a little prayer for Rocky Mountain High. That's
Yes.
some devastating news. So yeah, we're praying for them. Well, you guys, we try to stay on for an hour. It is now an hour and 6 minutes. So we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I know there's other lives going on, and everybody wants to get back to their evening and stuff. So we just want to say we appreciate you guys so much for stopping by to
Yes.
our lives. It's so awesome.
It's awesome. We love talking to you guys and hearing about the different things everybody's facing on a day-to-day basis.
Seeing people on the bus. Oh, wow. Praying for the yep. Glad I caught your live. I'll try to get on here next week too. That's awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Every Monday night at 6, guys.
Take
That's
care,
our goal.
homesteading in Idaho. Y'all take care.
Everybody take care. We'll have garden tours coming up hopefully on Wednesday.
Probably
possibly
Thursday.
Wednesday, Thursday, and then we'll have something different on Friday.
All right. Well, good night and God bless.
See ya.
You got to push that right there in the center. Oh.
Maybe it's not.